All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. This is the first time we have tried this, doing it onto both Rumble and the Crisis Report channel itself. So please tell us how everything is going, tell us how we're doing, and we would love to just get an idea of how this is all going to work. This is the first time we made the big purchase on the streaming platforms and everything to get StreamYard for everything that we're doing so far. And we're going to start to multi-stream on multiple platforms. I'm going to be honest with you. In the next coming year or so, I plan on spreading out, and I'll just put it to you that way. So we're going to start to do that. We're going to start to stream in multiple ways on multiple platforms. And we're going to start to expand this universe that we call PrepperNow onto many different things because, honestly, I just don't like some things that I'm seeing. So I appreciate everybody being here. And we've taken a lot of the money in the Black Friday deals. And we're going to start to do things in just a little bit more of a expansive way on here. So we appreciate you. So Gene and Bad Bobber and Matthew Trucking, if you could give me a 5x5. Yesterday there was a little bit of clipping. I've got my headset on and everything. If everything is sounding fine on the sound, that would be great. I just want to see how all this goes and what it's going. 5x5 by Bad Bobber. I apologize for doing this, Gene W. No clipping whatsoever, no little clicks and clips and little board kind of crap that they do, nothing like that. That'd be good to know. Just making sure. All right, everybody seems that it is going well. I did this and everybody was saying that, but then I went back and I listened to the video and there was just little things going on. And they do that on purpose. That's all done on purpose. So I just want to, just as I've been saying in here, and if you've been coming here in the last couple weeks since my situation has changed, my propensity to take crap is basically nil at this point. So, and to that, on the person that I 86'd the other day on that video, part of the problem is that he was basically kind of making fun of things, and at that point, a couple of guardsmen had lost what we thought had possibly lost their lives. Now we know that one has lost their life. But the main thing is that, I could have come out and started screaming like some of these other stupid channels do, trying to be all hyperbolic and stuff. And I was like, no, I want to be paced. I want to make sure that what I'm reporting to you is correct. That's it. I don't want to be first. I want to be correct. I want to be respected. Okay? So when I've got people like that and I've got all the BS that happens on this stupid platform when they do the crap that they do, it literally has gotten to a point now where I'm just frickin' done. Because I take this very seriously. I take it very seriously. I'm trying to create a network of information for people that is done in an intelligent way. It's done for people so they can get back, strap on the earbuds, and listen for about 30 minutes and know every single thing going on. And I've got a lot of stuff going on that I'm going to be telling you tonight. This is a day and a half worth of information, and there's a lot. So that is the deal. I appreciate y'all being here. If you'd like to be like my good friends over there, the Bad Bobbers coming in on Rumble. If you want to be a member here on YouTube, there are ways to do that. There's other links in the description on ways to help and support this cause, because I'm going to be honest with you, folks, I'm getting serious with it, okay? We're going to start to really push out and do things in a way that are more professional. It's been tough right now because I'm living in a garage currently, and I'm competing bandwidth with kids that are off school and everything else, so I haven't been able to come here as much as possible, but I'm going to get things in a way where it is literally clockwork. So I paid for a premium blue check on X. I've got the premium subscription here on StreamYard, and we're going to get serious and we're going to do this right. So if you're into really good information in a very truncated but comprehensive way, you're in the right place. If you like what we're doing here, smash that like button. Let's get started. Welcome to all my friends on Rumble. Please hit that like button. I've got a douchebag over there that dislikes every single thing I do. So to that person, you better go get some more accounts because you're going to be hitting a lot of the buttons. And it's frankly pathetic to sit back there like a little pussy and hit a button every time I put out a video. But you know what? Success is the best revenge, and that's where we're going with this. All right, here we go. This is your crisis report for November 28th, 2025. This one is entitled Z to Flee, Venezuela to Go Hot. There's a lot of things going on with all of this. There's things in flux. At the end of this, of course, we'll go to the financials and things. I'm going to start to get back to that. I used to do that a couple years ago. I've been doing this basically every day for about 4 years, 3 years. 2022, we're coming up on 4 years. You can find all this on Substack, which you're looking at right now, which is the screen being shared, PrepperNow.substack.com. Following the shooting involving the National Guard troops, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has halted all immigration requests related to Afghan nationals, effective immediately, pending a full review of security and vetting protocols. A lot of that stuff has been going on. A lot of people are going to be really angered at what this administration is going to do. They're going to start cracking down on it. Now, some of the things I agree with, there's some things that I don't agree with, and we'll get there later on. National Guard shooting. Suspect served alongside U.S. Army in Afghanistan, according to U.S. media. Putin scientists have unveiled spy pigeons fitted with brain implants and cameras that can be controlled like drones. They've already done this to dolphins and other sea life as well. This technology is getting more expansive. Scientists in China have allegedly created a potentially deadly virus called SARS-CoV through the gain-of-function research, according to Berliner Zeitung. Footage from Iran's Kish Inox Tech Expo shows that supposed advanced humanoid robots were actually people dressed in costumes and makeup. And I have to tell you, the videos of the pictures of these people are kind of hilarious because you can basically spot them and be like, dude, that's a dude in a silver outfit. National Guard members shot in Washington, D.C. are identified as Sarah Beckstrom, 20, and Andrew Wolf, 24. Yesterday, Sarah Beckstrom was pronounced dead. She succumbed to her injuries. And some strange things have been going on with her name after all of this, but also before. We posted on that onto Subscribestar and to Locals for the kind of stuff that'll get you kicked off of Facebook. If you're into that kind of deeper dive kind of stuff, those channels are there. We have great communities over there as well. Harvard scientist Avi Loeb has accepted Skeptic magazine publisher Dr. Michael Shermer's wager that aliens won't visit us by 2030, and even speculated that the arrival of Three-Eye Atlas could offer possible proof. This guy has really been putting it out there that this Three-Eye Atlas is of an alien nature. U.S. death row inmate who developed dementia during the 37 years on death row has died in custody, apparently of natural causes, prison authorities have said. My question is, we paid for the guy for 37 years and then he basically died of old age. U.S. says reviewing every green card of some nationalities after the attack on the 2 National Guard members in D.C. When asked for additional details, including which countries are considered to be of concern, USCIS pointed CNN to the 19 countries listed in the June presidential proclamation. The 19 countries include Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela, per CNN. U.S. President Donald Trump on Venezuela says we will be starting to stop them on land soon. The daunting words of Trump. At the end of this broadcast, you're going to start to hear that maybe we are getting ready. There's a lot of, it's one thing for what he says. It's another thing when other countries start doing stuff to get into preparation for such action. Bird flu virus that has been spreading amongst wild birds, poultry, and mammals could lead to a Ronademic worse than the Rona if it mutates to transmit between humans. The head of France's Institut Pasteur Respiratory Infections Center said they say this freaking stuff every other month now. So just be scared. Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro is facing U.S. pressure and potential military intervention and may consider Turkey as a safe haven. Turkey's president, close ally, could offer refuge with guarantees against extradition, according to the Washington Post. Trump announces to permanently pause migration from all third world countries. Canada's government has been forced to back down after trying to push a policy that would have allowed unlabeled cloned meat into the public food supply. This is a big thing that a lot of people were not happy with, on there. And so it's great that these people have come out, and the awareness that has been put out by all the different people, the influencers, the different news agencies and stuff of the alternative kind of destinations. It's working. Every once in a while, they'll try to do something like that, and people just sit back and they're like, oh, well, whatever. No, it shows that when you apply pressure and you actually push back against this crap, it can work to stop it. Trump's administration has refused to renew his visa and wanted to hand him over to the Taliban. The DC shooter was working with the U.S. Army in Afghanistan, fighting the Taliban until 2021. USA pulled out and Afghanistan fell to the Taliban, came on a special visa to America to be safe from the Taliban. His visa expired and was not extended. What this guy and others are saying is that that's why he went crazy. It's because he was over there, he was working for us, and then they did not extend his visa, which made him basically act out. I don't care what the situation is, going and shooting people is never the answer. Marco Rubio with an initiative to stop Muslim immigrants in Western countries, according to the New York Times. Rubio has ordered American diplomats in Europe, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand to pressure their host countries to restrict most immigration, with one of the main points being the prevalence of radical Islam amongst certain migrant populations, causing an increase in things like anti-Semitism. Iran's leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, in a speech said that America is the biggest loser of the 12-day war, used their sophisticated military capabilities, but did not achieve the objective of destroying the nuclear program. The war against Iran, which they had been wanting for over 20 years, failed to achieve its objective. So wonderful. He is now taunting Trump, and get ready for a little more Iranian fireworks. Putin says that Russia doesn't want to attack Europe, that it's laughable and a total lie, suggests there are crooks telling this to the population to increase their ratings and to serve the military industry interests. And I mean, that's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Europe is definitely, I don't know, it seems to me, and I could be wrong, that they're pushing for some form of conflict, and they've turned Russia into this boogeyman. Yes, I know they attacked Ukraine, but you got to kind of know the history of all that went on before. That's not as cut and dried as you think. German Ministry of Foreign Affairs on X and Twitter says Putin eyes the EU and NATO. Our intelligence services are issuing urgent warnings. Very least, Russia is creating the option for itself to wage war against NATO by 2029. Have to deter further Russian aggression together with partners and allies. The big problem with all this stuff is that Russia sees Germany wants to be ready for NATO war against Russia in 2029. Then Russia thinks, we have no plans whatsoever of attacking NATO. That means NATO wants to attack us in 2029. You see the negative feedback loop that's basically going on here. That's kind of what's going on. European Parliament has voted a non-binding resolution in favor of introducing age verification for social media use. Social media use is banned for everyone below the age of 16, and everyone else will have to submit their ID cards, a selfie, and a voice recording in order to be able to log onto any website or app and repeat this process every 3 months. Social media companies are not required to verify this data themselves, leaving room for third-party companies to cover the aspect. This is bad in every way. Yes, I want children to be protected online, but this is just a backdoor way to say it's for the children and to make it so all of our privacy online is completely gone. Yes, I understand that people do bad things online, but the vast majority of us don't. So it's kind of, even me, I had to submit a legal thing to YouTube because one of the people that's managing my accounts decided to unblock a whole bunch of people, one of which is made physical threats against me. And so I subjected or put forth a legal thing and said, hey, I see this. Here's the evidence. Made a video about it. Have it fully documented because I document everything now. They got it and all that. But even with that, trust me, I know that people can say nasty things. I know that cyberbullying is a thing. But the fact is that we still need anonymity, because for every one of those people out there that do this kind of crazy crap, there's another, million that don't. Denmark has been chat control's most ardent promoter. The ruling Danish Social Democrats retired early one of their most senior politicians who supported chat control after he was found guilty of storing child material on his electronic devices. Irony. New presidential election poll in France shows the right-wing Jordan Bardella winning the presidential elections, no matter who his opponent is. Centrist and leftist candidates all fall flat against Bardella. Liberal leftist firewall against right-wing candidates in France ended up strangling those that created it. Other European countries will follow the same path soon. New. President Trump announces that the U.S. will be stopping Venezuelan drug traffickers by land very soon. We'll be starting to stop them by land. Also, the land is easier, but that's going to start very soon. We warn them to stop sending poison to our country. That whole thing is going to be testing, basically, the whole legality of presidential war powers. That is coming. Southern Thailand floods have killed 145. That toll will rise. The pictures are terrible, and that's according to a new government toll. Political earthquake in Ukraine. President Xi, Chief of Staff Andrei Yermak, resigned several hours after anti-corruption agency investigators raided his house. The corruption scandal has key figures like Mindich and Tiskerman. They have fled to wonderful states in the Middle East that have a blue star. The ministers have been dismissed. Chernisov jailed. Servant of people demands government dissolution. Yermak at risk, and Zelensky's power visibly shaken for the first time. Pope Leo, who according to the Roman Catholic tradition is successor of St. Peter, and Patriarch Bartholomew, successor of St. Andrew, reunited together in Iznik, or Turkish-occupied Nicaea, to celebrate the 1700th anniversary of the First Ecumenical Council of Nicaea. Bitcoin is up to $92,000 and rising. It's up more than 15% since the monthly low. Odds of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates by 25 BPS in December have risen to 87% on Polymarket. Fitch Ratings, growing bubble risks could pressure credit. We're already starting to see those kind of things happen. The credit market is really having some issues right now. They're going back and forth. And so hope he got his cash out of his house before the raid. Something's going on, Craig. This whole thing is going to be, there's going to be major problems coming from all this. You're going to see everything. That's why I think this whole plan there was going on between Orange Man Bad and Putino and all that and kind of stuff. That I just think it all, something was about to drop. We knew that they're not going to have like a conflagration the whole time, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, oh my gosh, I think we have a peace plan. You knew that all this crap was going to start to come out because you're like, holy crap, the cash cow is over. Now I got to flee to whatever undisclosed spot I have picked out with my American taxpayer winnings. Silver is up 5%. It is at $56.41 an ounce. I have some very interesting news on silver at the end of this broadcast. Is at the end we do the financial stuff, and a lot of very concerning news going on with not just America's finances, but with the globe. U.S. National Guard shooting suspect is going to be charged with murder. African Union suspends Guinea-Bissau with immediate effect after the coup yesterday. Residents are helped rescue a dog stranded on top of a car in the flood-hit Hatyai, Thailand. U.S. poised to recognize the control over Crimea of Russia and the occupied Ukrainian territories in the Trump peace proposal. The United States is preparing to formally recognize the control over Crimea, key occupied regions in eastern Ukraine, including parts of Donetsk, Lugansk, Kherson, and Zaporozhye, as part of U.S. President Trump's proposal framework to end this war, sources familiar with the negotiations have told The Telegraph. President Trump spoke by phone last week to Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan leader, discussed a possible meeting between them. Multiple people with knowledge of the matter have told the New York Times. U.S. Treasury Secretary says at President Trump's direction, we are working to cut off federal benefits to illegal aliens and preserve them for U.S. citizens. Airbus has issued a warning to travelers flying on the Airbus planes. Analysis of a recent event involving an A320 family aircraft has revealed that intense solar radiation may corrupt data critical to the functioning of flight controls. This thing is very interesting, and let me tell you why. This is happening over a very densely populated, busy travel weekend, and for some reason, this thing just reeks of an excuse for some form of a cyber problem that is going on. There are 6,000 of these vehicles. There were 3,000 in the air, literally, when this happened. And I'm going to get to that post here in a moment. But 3,000 of these things were in the air. And imagine putting this out as all these things are flying all over, saying, hey, these planes are having an issue. You might want to start to get them back onto the ground and look into that. I mean, half the fleet of these things were airborne. It's just, I don't know. There's something more to this story that's coming. Sweden's defense ministry plans to buy missiles with a range of up to 2,000 kilometers capable of striking targets deep inside Russian territory. Denmark has signed a contract worth about 580 million or 500 million euros. Norway's Kongsberg Defence and Aerospace to purchase NASAMS air defense systems. The deal is part of Denmark's broader plan to rapidly strengthen its air defense capabilities amid rising security concerns in Europe. NASAMS are a modern mobile medium-range defense system for the air using Raytheon radar, Kongsberg launchers, multiple missile types such as AMRAAM and Sidewinder. Its modular, upgradable architecture allows adaptation to future threats. Denmark views the NASAMS purchase as an urgent, temporary solution until more permanent long-range systems from Germany and France are deployed. The acquisition also reinforces air defense cooperation within NATO and the Nordic region. 2 oil tankers under sanctions and accused of carrying Russian oil were struck by explosions near the Turkish Black Sea coast. Earlier today, Russia test-fired one of its Sarmat ICBM from the Yasny firing range in Orenburg region. The test launch failed miserably, breaking apart just mere minutes from the launch, following which it smashed into the ground. We've been talking about how they had the nuclear sniffer over there in the Alaskan air region, and the reason why is because they said that there's going to be a big test of the Russians, and here we are. Sarmat affectionately is also known as the Satan. According to a private source familiar with the military deal between the U.S. and Nigeria, the U.S. will be allowed to conduct UAV airstrikes against targets inside Nigeria. The scope only included unmanned aircrafts, UAVs, not fighter jets or bombers. The American counterpart will mainly fill the ISR gaps in the Nigerian army with manned and unmanned aircraft, likely still unconfirmed, using the Kainji Air Base in Niger State as a launch pad. Immigration by British and EU citizens is flat or even slightly down. Large rise in immigration is entirely driven by non-EU citizens leaving. There's Europe and the UK are basically the people coming are not of a European kind of background. We'll just put it to you that way. France is introducing voluntary military service for 18 and 19-year-olds. President Emmanuel Macron wants young people to be ready to stand up amid concerns over Russian threats towards Europe. Service would be at least for 10 months, and volunteers would only be deployed to France. Sure. German Chancellor Merz says Berlin will raise 2026 funding for Ukraine from 8 billion euros to 11 billion euros. Enjoy becoming even more incredibly broke for our good friends over there in Europe. U.S. General Mike Flynn has just called for the arrest of Volodymyr Zelensky and his associates. Main loser, Zelensky, along with corrupt inner circle, must all be arrested. Tens of billions of dollars stolen must be recovered, he said on X. U.S. demands Lebanon return unexploded bomb from Beirut bombing, according to Lebanese media. The United States is demanding that Lebanon return the GBU-39B precision-guided bomb that was found and did not detonate in Beirut, fearing its advanced technology could fall into the hands of China, Russia, and Iran. Airbus orders immediate repairs, 6,000 A320 jets after a flight control system software defect. Recall hits over half of all A320s worldwide amongst the peak holiday travel rush. More than 3,000 were airborne, as I was just saying, when this directive dropped. Major delays are now looming. There's something going on with this. So I'm calling it out right now. I don't know what it is. Personally, I think it was a cyber attack. I don't know that for sure. Software bug, flight control via remote access. There's something jacked up with that. Russia communications watchdog warned it may block WhatsApp completely if the Meta-owned messenger doesn't comply with local laws requiring cooperation with law enforcement investigations. Moscow already restricted some WhatsApp and Telegram calls in August, accusing both of withholding information in fraud and terrorism cases. Trump is pursuing peace, ignoring Europe. The Zaporozhye offensive is now unstoppable. This is your military summary and analysis for 11/28/2025, according to the Russian M.O.D. Russian ground forces are currently intensifying their attacks in the north of the Kharkiv Oblast. Russians are advancing not only in Volchansk, but also towards the neighboring towns, which are currently being attacked by FAB glide bombs. Attempts to encircle Lyman are also continuing. According to current information, direct attacks through the forest into the town have not been successful. As a result, attacks are currently intensifying in neighboring towns and forest areas. The Russians have been chewing up a lot of real estate, and I think with this whole thing going on with Z-Man and the corruption is going to change the game. President Trump says U.S. may completely cut income tax due to tariff revenue. We shall see on that. Attack on two ships in Black Sea, the Kairos and Virat, unconfirmed. Reports say that vessels were struck by mines, sea drones, and kamikaze boats. Virat exploded and the Kairos is at risk of sinking. Crew members have been fully evacuated. So, real quick. Hold on real quick, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what this is going on. All right, sorry. Turning Point USA CEO Eric Kirk says plans to back a J.D. Vance 2028 presidential run are already underway. President Trump's Treasury has issued a memo saying it will start seizing remittances sent overseas by illegal aliens and any suspicious transfers over $2,000 that will be flagged. So, European Union Aviation Safety Agency is meeting to decide whether to extend the recommendation not to fly to Venezuela until the end of January. That's why I think Venezuela might be going hot. And then singer Maki Atsuki, One Piece Ending 1, was taken off stage midway through her show in Shanghai. Chinese government ordered the event to stop suddenly, prohibiting Japanese artists from performing in mainland China. This happened in the diplomatic tensions after the statements of the Prime Minister of Japan about the defense of Taiwan, causing fears of a new cultural blockade against the rest of Asia by the PRC. There was a big let's just say the video is interesting. I think I forwarded it onto my Telegram. By the way, if you're not a member of the Telegram, that's another thing. In fact, I'll do all this at the end. There's a whole restructuring of what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll get there at the end. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But yeah, she's up there literally singing mid-song, and then they just like rushed her off stage. It was really weird. Cyber attack disabled the nationwide code red emergency notification system across St. Louis metro area. Lab-grown bacon will soon be ready to roll out. Who's ready to chow down? And Quebec says it will intensify its crackdown on public displays of religion with a sweeping new law that will ban any form of public prayer and impose heavy fines on violators. I'm sure that'll only be directed towards one religion. United States forward-looking indicators point further towards a decline in jobs and weak consumer expectations in falling services and manufacturing PMI. Employment index is signaling drop in payrolls in the coming months as we get into the financials of this wonderful world that we're living in. U.S. housing market is broken. On average, the price of a new single-family home has traded below the price of an existing single-family home for 12 months. First such occurrence in 54 years. This comes as the price of a new home fell below the price of an existing home. I don't know about you, but if you're thinking about selling, you might have missed the boat. I thought we had. I literally think it was an act of God that we were able to sell our house 2 weeks ago. And all I can say is I'm very lucky. I'm blessed. And we are, well, it's opening up new things for me. So, you know what? As much as this platform and the BS that goes along with it, I know who's got my back, and that's because Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I'm very lucky. 28.1% of trade-ins for new car purchases involved negative equity in quarter 3 2025, highest since quarter 1 2021. For any quarter 3, this marks the highest level since the 2020 Rona-demic. Percentage has risen 12.6 points up over the last 3. Compounding inflation is a global crisis. Since January 2021, the UK has experienced UK gas has experienced the largest surge in prices amongst major economies at 28.2%. US saw cumulative inflation of 23.8%, followed by the euro area at 23.1% and Germany at 21.2%. But hey, everything's fine. Inflation's getting under control, guys. We're good. We're good. Totes good. Credit application rejection rates are soaring. Overall rejection rate for the U.S. credit applications is up 24.8% over the last 12 months, highest since the data began in 2014, according to the New York Fed. The rate has risen 10.4 percentage points since February of 2020. Credit crunch is coming. Alternative data shows U.S. layoffs are surging. Job cuts tracked by Macro Edge jumped 70,609 month over month in October to 154,559. That's the highest in at least 2 years. Monthly job cuts have now exceeded 100,000 for the 5th time this year. Same time, layoff announcements are coming more and more. And now we have Trump saying that he will keep stocks at record highs, $600 billion a year into the Magnificent Seven tech stock cap X. That's your stock market. Fed cutting interest rates into 3% inflation. That will make your bread go to $10 a loaf. Global AI infrastructure is spending $1 trillion a year, which means your power bills will get up to $500 a month. Fed ending quantitative tightening in 2 days, which makes your bread go up to $12 a loaf. And U.S. deficit spending is over 6%. But everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. Yeah, everything's great. So you're good. You guys don't need to do anything. You don't need to prep anything. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to invest in different stuff. By the way, we are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. If you are considering putting your IRA and 401k, and we have no clue why you would want to do that, into gold and silver, Augusta Precious Metals is the group to do it with. They have partnered with the channel, and there are links in the description to where you can go. They'll do an information session with you, and then from there, you can decide to do it, or you can say, you know what? Not into it. We're good. Silver prices are surging to a new record high of $55 an ounce, now up 90+% in 2025. But everything is awesome. While everyone is focused on AI, deficit spending, soaring, and the Fed cutting rates into 3% inflation, $12 loaves of bread, our assets are being left behind. What we are seeing in silver right now is truly historic. Now above the 1980 and 2011 highs and above $55 an ounce for the first time in history. While everyone is fighting over the AI bubble, precious metals are casually crushing every other asset class. Trump once again says he will be creating 50-year mortgages. The dumb makes my eyes hurt. And U.S. data center construction plans are soaring. Data center capacity that is built, under construction, or in planning hit a record of 80 gigawatts in 2025. To put this into perspective, this much capacity could theoretically power up to 60 million homes. But hey, we're good. We're good, Mountain Truth. We're good. Oh, yeah, we're good. You guys good? I'm good. I feel great. Yeah. I don't know if you listen to most of this broadcast, but I'd say you might want to be getting ready for some nasty. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes, and it is happening. And we're going to report it all here. We are going to report it all here on your Crisis Report, which I'll be putting on to Rumble and the Crisis Report channel. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll be doing the dual live streams going on forward from here. Also, PrepperNow will be going on to not only PrepperNow on the YouTube channel, but also onto X, as we're going to start to maximize and spread out. So some of the changes, let me tell you some of the things that we got going on. I've gotten a premium account on X, and I will be posting there much more often. My website is going to be put back into play. I'm putting files on there for preparedness and other things. Probably a blog post or something, or maybe my X post a day, but there'll be something there. I'm going to try and do that daily. That's not my major priority right now, but I do have a website that I created and paid for, and I want to use it. So we're going to start to use that more. Telegram. Go to Telegram. I actually have one of my subscribers here is the mod on the Crisis Report by PrepperNow channel. Go check that out. I've been in about 450 subscribers or what it is for like 2 or 3 years. I want to grow that and use it more and put that all into there. So if you are not subscribed to the Telegram channel, go over to the Crisis Report. There's also like a chat group. If you want to go there, that's fine. But it's Telegram, and sometimes people get butthurt. So if you're of a strong will, you can go over there and battle comment with the rest of them. If you just want information and see all the crazy crap that I find on Telegram, which I get a bulk of what I do here, then go on over there. Then, of course, there's Substack, which you're looking at right now. Substack is where I put the Crisis Report. The Crisis Report is tabulated daily, usually about 15 to 25 minutes, but this one was much larger because it's been a day and a half. So Substack, you can go free on that, or you can say, hey, I like what he's doing. I'm going to give him a little something for the effort. The subscribers of the paid style are growing up. I'm basically growing everywhere with the exception of the Crisis Report on YouTube. So you do with that what you will. Everything else we're doing well. Subscribestar and locals, those have been pretty much about the same. Those are a couple bucks a month, but I put 5 usually to 10 posts a day of crazy stuff that will get you kicked off of Facebook, for lack of a better way of putting it. I put one out today about some interesting searches that were going on in a Middle Eastern country about a certain person that just lost their life in a certain capital city, which I won't tell you about. But if you want to go there and join and just see what it's like, it's a great spot. And again, that's been kind of not as I love on it, but not as much as I used to. I'm going to start to be there much more. Awesome communities there. These are critical thinkers that call BS on a lot of stuff. And you will see something every day, I promise you, that will blow your mind. It happens all the time. Other than that, I'm on X, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Minds, I'm on Gab, I'm on True Social. Join me over there. I'm going to be posting there much more as well. But we're taking this thing seriously. And I was talking to my wife today as we were looking around and doing our thing. I'm going to take this, I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. And so I personally think things are evolving, and some good, some bad. I personally think that certain platforms are contributing to this global panopticon BS that I promised to fight. You might want to check out my latest video, or one of my latest videos on PrepperNow, one of my shorts about the new Australian driving rules. Go check that video out, because all that stuff that's going on over there or in Europe or wherever, that eventually is going to try and make its way over here. Just like cloned meat is already in our food systems, and they're gonna act like it's shut down. All these crazy things are happening on purpose because they don't respect you. They don't care about you. They think you're cattle, and they're going to treat you as such. And as I read this quote the other day, you'll only let them get away with as much as you'll tolerate. So I don't know about you. My level of tolerance is frickin' nil at this point. So I've worked myself in a way where we can take some stuff on. We're going hardcore. That's all I'm going to say. So when I say that my propensity to take crap, my care about stuff, all that, it's literally not there anymore. No more Mr. Nice Guy. We're done. I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm going to have fun and all that, but the BS has ended. We're done. It's time to get serious. And if you don't think that me selling everything I have, literally darn near everything, and completely wiping the deck of everything and getting ready for what I think is the next stage of a lot of BS, moving my family in under 2 weeks, living in a garage, and doing a whole bunch of stuff that most people would not have been able to do. If you don't think I'm taking this like a fucking heart attack, as serious as a heart attack, then you got another thing coming. So take it seriously. And because I'm taking it seriously, everything I put out here going forward is going to be serious. And I'm going to tell you everything, good, bad, or indifferent. I voted for Trump. I did. But if there's something going on that I don't like, I'm going to call it out. Okay? Because my sovereign, my allegiance is to nothing on earth but to the Lord Jesus Christ and to God above. That's it. And my family. In that order. So we're here and we're getting serious, and I'm going to be putting the work in. I've got everything, infrastructure ready to go, and I'm going to be contacting my graphics guy. I'm going to need more stuff like that. I got a few other people that I have in the background that help me on certain levels. I'm going to see if they want to come a little bit more on board of kind of helping. I don't want to outsource too much because I'm a control freak. But again, we're going to turn this into something. So if you like what we're doing here, if you enjoy the information, if you want to, please join us, whatever that capacity may be. If it's just coming and watching the video and you're not tethered to anything else, totally fine. When you're here, please be respectful. My mods, you have full reign. You know that. You guys can do whatever you feel is necessary. You've been with me for years, and I trust you. So just know that this whole thing called PrepperNow is going to what I'm calling effectively PrepperNow 3.0. So that's it. That's the long short of it. All right. God bless you all. I appreciate you. And we will see you on the next one. Hit that like button before you go. Join us over on Rumble if you're not a member there or a subscriber. And join us on all the other platforms. Links are in the description. Check out our partnerships. We have numerous. And we appreciate you being here. God bless you all. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back to kick ass and take more names tomorrow. Hope to see your name here again. God bless and have a great night.